Welcome everyone to What's Cooking with Chef Marc, and I'm very happy to announce that I have my mother here for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, and thank you for allowing me into your home to do another wonderful meal together with a beautiful Mother's Day menu that we created for you to create at your home. And so let me say hello to my mom and happy birthday to my mom and give her the gift that we gave you for your mothers or mothers out there that we've been serving for so many years. So my mother Marilyn is here to join me, and my nephew Roman is here to join me for this cooking video. So welcome everybody, and Mom, happy Mom's Day. Thank you, honey. Thank you for coming. And I have a gift for you from our chef Joel that made a beautiful truffle with rose water, and it's just a beautiful candy. So here, Mom.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. And she's here to make sure that I do everything right today, because otherwise I get a little, scoffed the Italian way. So as you know, the Italians always eat together on Sunday. When we were growing up, we did that. It was very traditional. And this is a big family day, so we hope to make it a little more special for you there at home, as well as us here with our family. So from our family to your family, again, a very warm and wonderful, with all the love I can give you, happy Mother's Day to all of you. And here now we're gonna start cooking what's in the box, and we're very excited to introduce those ingredients. And the first thing I wanna do, I've been letting my roast rest for a while. And the roast is a beautiful prime rib of roast wrapped in twine. And we're gonna take a special herb blend that I've been kind of using for years as my mirepoix, so to say. And I put olive oil and a little bit of red wine vinegar in the mixture. So I made it so that it's a wet rub, as you can see right here. And we're gonna rub it on the rib roast that's right here. And that's the first thing you wanna do. So this has been resting out at room temperature for about 20 minutes. You can do it for up to 2 hours. It'll even cook better when it's not so cold, as evenly as you would like it to be. So let's say what we do here in a certain way, and let's get some help from my family. So Roman, you're gonna cut the potatoes. I already have some started, and we're gonna do that while I talk about the roast. And Mom, you watch me to make sure I do everything correctly. Can I move this for you? All right, so we're gonna put this just over here for now. And I have you a little glass of wine. I know you don't want to let it go, so here, I'm going to help you with that as well.
Oh, thank you.
What do you say to?
Salud.
Salud, Mom. Thank you. I see some nice people out there on camera working with us here. Hello, Bob. Hello, everybody. Salud. Happy Mother's Day. And so you take your beautiful rolled ribeye beef steak here, and we're going to put some seasoning on it. So let's get started with that. And the reason I have this wet, I also have it dry. And this is what it is: rosemary, sage, and thyme. And we like to dice it up before every meal prep that we do in the restaurant and at home. So this is what I put on steak, chicken, pork chops, but I add different things to those different proteins as I see fit. So now we're gonna take this right here, and let's just start by mixing up our herbs and olive oil and vinegar and sea salt and cracked pepper, and just generously pour it on. We're gonna massage this in. Just have fun with it. Move it around on the dish, and you can see it's already starting to take hold and become like a, we don't call this a marinade, we call this a rub, because if you marinate, I don't really want to use that term, because marination would be a lot of time spent having this meat or your protein in a different type herbs and liquid and olive oil. We don't want to do that. We just want to do a quick little rub just before we cook it. Now your oven should be preset right now, and you have instructions as well, which come with the box right here. Okay, Roman, take a look, follow those instructions as you see fit. Very easy meal tonight, but very delicious. We are celebrating Mother's Day once again, and I've been doing Mother's Day dinners for people for as long as I can remember. When everybody's home or out at restaurants and enjoying themselves, the people like me that are chefs all over the world, we enjoy making you happy. And that's one day that Mother's Day, probably the busiest restaurant day around, I guess. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve, those are the big ones for us. And we don't ever want to make a mistake and have somebody come in and ruin that special day. So we make sure we're well prepared and everybody's ready. You see, I'm just letting this do its little thing here. And then we're gonna take this and let it rest for a minute, because it's gonna take about 14 minutes per pound. And this is about 2 pounds. So a little over 2 pounds. So we're at about 25 minutes. And when you take it out of the oven after it's roasted, we're gonna let it rest for probably about 12, 15 minutes. And then it'll still be warm, but what's inside is that nice medium rare, medium juices that you don't wanna lose that by cutting your meat too quickly. So you wanna let that stay inside and become not so liquidy. It's gonna just make a nice juicy center. So let's talk about that later. And what you want to do right now is we want to get this in the oven and get it started. So let's do that now. So what we'll do is, we have an oven here, and you have an oven at home, of course. If you have a convection oven with a fan on it, you can either leave it on and cook it a little less time, or leave it on halfway and leave that on for like 12 minutes and then turn it down to regular bake. Sometimes you have a choice in your home. If you don't have a convection oven, then follow along with what I'm doing. So we're gonna take this roast and we're gonna get it ready. But here's a little trick I like to do with all my meats, whether it's chicken, beef, and when I'm gonna roast it at home or in my oven in the restaurant, I like to take a pan or a roasting pan. At this time I have a nice saute pan. And what we did was we cut onions, carrots, and celery. And we take that and we make like a little bed on the bottom of that pan, just like you see right here. And this is gonna be because the juices, you need air under the meat so that the heat can go around it and actually surround it and cook it more evenly. If you just put this in the pan on the bottom, a lot of people would do that. Well, you know, you're not gonna cook, this cooks much better and more even because you're allow it to have some space. So now we take this beautiful piece of meat. Is this okay, Ma?
Perfect.
And we're gonna put it on top of the vegetables, just like that. If you want garlic, you can put garlic. I didn't put garlic in here, but this is perfect the way it is. Make sure we get all this flavor out of here. And that's, you know, the rest of that liquid rub that we did. Okay. And now I like to put a little extra salt. So I have a little bit of kosher salt here. You can use sea salt. I like a nice coarse salt because coarse salt, you can see it, you can feel it, and it's actually less salty than fine salt. Fine salt, I'm gonna use that for pasta water. So now we have this right here, and we are gonna put this in the oven, and then we're gonna get onto the salad and talk about the dessert, and we'll have a conversation with my mother. She'd like to say hello to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day in the family all over.
Happy Mother's Day, all my family, all my sister-in-laws.
Where are they, Ma? Where are
Well,
they?
they're in Florida, and they're in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Utica, New York.
Very good. Well, thanks, Mom, for coming and helping me today. I know you're busy at home.
No, I'm busy over there.
So we're gonna go in the oven with this.
Very nice, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, see you later, Mom.
You wanna sit down for a little while?
I'm gonna sit down.
Go ahead. Let me see the salad. Now we're gonna have some fun. So, Roman, come on in here. So Roman's been cutting the potatoes because we want to kind of get the potatoes going while we're preparing the salad. And I'm going to show you just how to do the salad. So when the steak is resting, that's the time to sit down, eat the salad. Everything's ready. The steak is there ready. And then I'll show you how we slice it. So right now, my nephew Roman, who's been assisting me here for a couple of weeks now, we're going to take these fingerling potatoes that we have for you in the box, and we're going to season them. But first we're going to parboil them, and the water isn't quite boiling because we don't want to put them in there and have them break or anything after so we soften them a little bit. So we're going to turn the water up when the potatoes go in. Right now the water's warm, so I'm going to put it in the water, and then I'm going to turn it up so it boils. And about maybe 7-8 minutes, we're going to take them out and we're going to toss them back in this bowl, season them again with the herbs, maybe salt and pepper and olive oil, and then we're going to slide them in a saute pan, and we're gonna work them to get them nice and golden brown. Or you can roast them in the oven. If you have a roasting pan, they come out beautiful. So let's get them started. So now I'm gonna turn this water up, and we're gonna let that boil. And while that's happening, let's talk about this beautiful, colorful salad that we made. Let's have Roman, my nephew, talk about the salad a little bit. What do you have going on here, Roman? I'll cut some strawberries. I'll be your assistant and cut the strawberries for you right now. So go ahead.
I'm not 100% sure on what all these ingredients are. I just learned recently that I think this is a watermelon radish.
A watermelon relish, correct?
And then this is a different type of radish, right?
No, that's a little baby carrot.
Oh, it's a baby carrot.
Yeah.
Yellow carrot, right?
And over here I'm gonna have the strawberry, just gonna cut it in quarters. So we already have them pre-cleaned and no stems, so this is just gonna quarter. You want them a little smaller, make them bite-sized for you. You can cut them in 8. So do them in a quarter and then cut them in 8. And we're just gonna take those strawberries that we provided for you in the box, and we're gonna put them on top of the salad. A little bit more. You want to cut one?
Yeah. What about this cheese though? This is
That's going to go on. You tell me.
Are those peppercorns?
This is from Tuscany, and this is a Pecorino Romano. There's different Pecorino Romanos. Usually in Italy, you hear of Pecorino Romano cheese, and it's going to be coming from Rome, and that's something that's 500 feet above sea level, and it's sheep's milk, and absolutely delicious. And that's for grating. And when you make Italian food, you always want that big flavor. You use Romano cheese, and that's this one is from Tuscany, and they do little wheels of different cheese. Called Pecorino Romano, but this is Tuscan style, not Roman. So this is from around Florence in that area. And this one has peppercorns in it, and it's absolutely delicious. So it's gonna complement this beautiful salad that's a little sweet, because the dressing that we're gonna use today, along with the strawberries, and we have a little chocolate nibs, which are very unusual, and this is a superfood, so they're very healthy, little crunchy, non-sweetened dark chocolate nibs, it's called. And we gave that to you in the box as well. And then we have the dressing that's made of strawberry and champagne and beautiful olive oil and a beautiful, like a champagne vinaigrette. So this is gonna be a nice, but I don't want you to toss it. Again, this is a gentle spinach green in here, and we don't want you tossing that with the dressing because it'll wilt too quickly. So what I'd like you to do is prepare the salad, get everything on it, however you wanna do it at home. There's enough for 4 or 5 people here. And then you're gonna take the dressing and just drizzle it on top of the salad, so that when you grab it with a fork and eat it, you're gonna get a little dressing and everything at once. It's gonna be a wonderful experience in your mouth. So let's just get started on creating the salad for everybody. And I'm gonna cut these strawberries. I think I like them cut in 8. So we quartered them, we cut them again, put them on top. The strawberries on there now. One more. You know, I came here in probably 2000 it was when I moved to Las Vegas. And I opened up my first restaurant on Lake Mead in Tenaya. That was a long time ago. And I met these wonderful people that became my customers, and over the years, I've seen the parents of having babies, and today these people that used to come in and wonderful customers of mine, we've known each other for 20 years, and I've seen their children grow up and become young adults and go to college and all these beautiful things. And the restaurant business is a way of communicating with people and having a social life without even going out. You go to work, and that is where you have a social life, and you meet all these wonderful people and families. And I've met the nicest people in my restaurants all over the place. I've been in Florida, I've been in upstate New York, and now I'm in Las Vegas. And it's such a warm community here. And I just love everybody, and I love what I do, and I love bringing this food to you, and all the happiness that food could bring you, and a nice environment. And I just keep going. So now I'm at Ahern Hotel on 300 West Sahara. I'm building restaurants here, an Italian experience like no other in Vegas. And when we open up in October, I can't wait to see all these faces that I've known for so many years to come and join us and have so much fun, because we are creating an atmosphere like I said, like no other in Las Vegas or anywhere else that I know of. All my trips to Italy are all now coming out of me, and they're all going to be in this building eventually. So now we have a beautiful salad that we made, and then you can just take the dressing and just kind of pour it on top. And if you have 4 dishes and you separate it, that's beautiful. But I'm just gonna, right before you eat, and I'm doing it now for you, but wait till you're ready to eat and just pour the dressing on. Everybody gets a little bit. And now we have the ensalada finita. So this is a finished salad, and we're gonna take this and just put it on the side, and you know, we're gonna get on to the next thing. Go ahead. What do we have over here, Roman?
Over here we have some, looks like brown sugar carrots with butter and some salt and pepper. So
you got a bag at home, and in that bag is going to be carrots that we sliced up. And the carrots have butter, brown sugar, salt and pepper, and marsala wine. That's what I love to do, especially during a holiday or a special occasion, because when you cook these carrots, the way that you can cook them, and the best way, I believe, is to put them in a little casserole, cover it with tin foil, and put them in the oven for 15-20 minutes. They're gonna be a little al dente. They're gonna have a nice sweetness to them. Carrots are naturally sweet anyway, but we're gonna bring that out. And the brown sugar, the marsala wine, all kind of tightens up, and the carrots become glazed with it at the end. And then you're gonna serve them next to your steak, and you're gonna have the beautiful salad in the beginning, and the potatoes will be done. See now that water's starting to boil perfectly right now. So they're gonna be another 5 minutes before I take them out, check them, and at home you should have cut them in half already, and then we'll season them and we'll finish them up in a pan very shortly. So I don't really have an oven on here because this is my studio kitchen, but at home your oven's gonna be really hot and on, so I'm kind of going through the motions for you so that you can do this easy dinner even easier for you at home. Where's my mother? Where'd she go?
I think she's drinking wine somewhere.
I think so too. Roman, how long have you been living here in Las Vegas, and where you live? You know, what's going on with you right now? What's happening?
I was born and raised here, and then I moved to San Diego about 2 years ago. And then now that we're all doing homeschool, I'm coming back here, hanging around the hotel, learning a bunch of things about restaurants and everything.
This kid's been cooking since he's about 4 years old. In the first video that we did together, he was telling a story, and I used to love watching him because I had him eating sushi when he was about 7. And he never said no to any type of food. He was always willing to try it. And I mean, you know, that's how people learn about cooking anyway. So no matter what he does with his life, whether he goes to college and becomes whatever, he'll always be able to cook something. And I think that's important for anybody. No matter what you do, if you can't go home and pull something out of the refrigerator and create a dinner, you're in trouble. You always got to go out and eat. So I think it's good to learn to cook at home. We're helping you here with this, and we're going to do many more videos, more instructional videos, how to make pasta, how to make sauce, how to make pizza dough, you know, all these things, how to make cannoli filling, how to make a real Caesar dressing coming up soon. So we're just kind of introducing these videos now as we go along. And hey, let's check the potatoes. Come on. Here's my little, let's check them, pull one out. See what you want to do. It's been about 5-6 minutes now, and just kind of run a knife through the center, just the weight of the knife. I had to put a little pressure on that, so I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I want to wait till they're a little tender, a little less raw, but you don't want to overcook them in the water. So let's talk about that, because a lot of times when I do potatoes, like let's say I'm making a gnocchi, if I want to take the potato and roast it in the oven until it's real soft, I take it out, open it up. We should do a class on making a perfect gnocchi. I'll do that very, very soon for everybody. Let me have some water. So everybody at home, anybody have any questions about anything so far? I'm making it way too easy for you. Salud, everyone. This is water, but you know, salud, whatever you're drinking, happy Mother's Day.
Oh, good, you wine?
When we were in Italy, he drank wine. They served them everywhere. He had a little sip, you know, not much.
The waiters always had to ask, "Oh, can he have some wine?"
They don't care in Italy. The kids eat. They give the babies a little wine in their bottle when they're having the milk and when they're young, just a little bit to keep them quiet, you know. So now we have about 15-20 minutes here that we're doing. The roast is in the oven. The potatoes are almost ready. The salad is finito. And we made a nice dessert that my brother does. It's a ricotta cheesecake. So it's an Italian style cheesecake. And we have these Amarino cherries that we're gonna put on top. And that's gonna bring it all together. So I'd like to show you what that looks like right now. Can I have the cheesecake, please? And this is what it looks like when it comes out. We kind of made it in a sheet pan, but this is a ricotta cheesecake, so it's a little tighter because this is an impastata ricotta. It's more for desserts than regular ricotta you buy in the store. But you can certainly use a regular ricotta. These are the beautiful cherries. These are Italian cherries. They use them in great cocktails in some bars, and you can find them, of course, and we're going to have them. But it's almost like a syrupy, sweet cherry that's really good for desserts. And you just put a little bit on top of the cheesecake, and you have a dessert. That's really nice. And then right here, what do you do over here with this?
Those breadcrumbs, they're on the. You can put them on top, sprinkle them on top, and they're also on the bottom when you cook the cheesecake.
So that's nice. So nice. It gives it a little crunch, a little crumble, so you have a textural thing going on, which is always fun. So everybody at home should have their roast in the oven right now. You should have your potatoes, which I'm about to take out of the water and start sauteing them so you can see how they caramelize and get a little crust on them. And then we're gonna do the carrots. Well, you know, we're not cooking them, but your carrots will cook right where they are, ready to go when you're ready to eat. And that should be about 10 minutes from now. And that's a perfect thing. So where are we at now, Roman, as far as the...
According to this, what are the potatoes?
Let's check those potatoes right now, see what's going on.
I think they're ready to come out.
Does anybody at home play music while they're cooking? I'm playing music, but it's in my head right now. So now we have some good extra virgin olive oil from Sicily. And if you can see this in the camera, I'm gonna take some olive oil, just drizzle it over the potatoes. Let's pull one out and show you that little test that we did a few minutes ago, how soft they are, but they're not. See, they're giving into the knife, but a little bit of, just a little bit, but they're perfect. So these are gonna saute really nicely. Let's put some salt. This is a nice pinch. You want to have enough salt on here, so that's another little bit, pinch and a half. Toss them around. Now I have my pan on the gas right here. You have a saute pan at home. You can put them in the oven if you want. This pan's already been warmed up, so I'm going to slide the potatoes on there. A little more olive oil. A little bit of those blended herbs, rosemary, sage, and thyme if you want to.
I'd be throwing some garlic on there too.
You could. That's beautiful. A little more olive oil. So when we have a meal at home with the family, one of the favorite things I've ever had my mother made, and you all have something that your mother made for you, or that you might now be a mother and be cooking for your family, but my mother made the best wedding soup anybody ever tasted. And every holiday, she makes it for the whole family, and we all fight over it, of course, but it's the best. So that's what we look forward to when I go to my mother's house, when she makes wedding soup a couple times a year. That's probably the best thing. So now that we have just a few minutes left, the potatoes are getting a nice color, as you can see. Let's get the steak that's already cooked and show you how to slice that right now. I may be getting ahead of you a little bit there at home, but if I do, just go back to the video or the instructions and it'll tell you exactly what we're gonna do, because I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit and show you an already done steak. Now, as you can see right here, the rib roast really cooked nicely on top of the vegetables. You see the vegetables are cooked on there. You can use that, you can eat them, use them as a little side, cut them up, put them next to the steak, they'll be delicious. And they have all the juices that the steak sort of leaked down into the vegetable. So I'll show you even how to do that. Let's take the vegetables, the carrot, the celery, the onion. Just make a little, kind of like a vegetable plate next to the meat. Give me a nice dish roll underneath me on my right, near my knee. There's some dishes we're gonna serve it on. So here I cut up the veggies. Okay, very good. Let's hit that with a little bit of salt for the plate. A little olive oil for the plate. Love how to do it like that. The carrots would be out of the oven at this point. Your steak would have already been rested for, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes. You take the string, the twine, just cut it somewhere where the knot is, anywhere, pull it off. You may not be at this point yet, like I said, but I'm jumping ahead so I can give you an idea of how to handle this when it happens. Now you see, we wrapped this up and it's gonna be very tender. This is gonna be like butter. So now it has a nice crust on it. As you can see, the flavors are gonna be really nice. And let's say there's 4 people. So let's cut this for 4. Look at the color in there. Look how beautiful that is. That's a beautiful ribeye right
It's
there.
like marble.
Yeah, that's the marble in there. And now we're gonna cut it. For everybody at home. Boom. There's enough for 6 here. Who are we kidding? This is beautiful. Oh, look at this. He wasn't invited, was he? He wasn't invited here. And here we go. This is the last cut right here. Beautiful. Okay. Ribeye. One more plate, bro. One more plate. One more. The main thing I wanted to show you here is just to cut that up like that, so it's, you know, maybe a 1/4 inch each, a little bit more, and then you'll have a nice, everyone will be able to cut it with a fork. You probably don't need a knife for this.
Mark, what about these?
That's what we're gonna put on now. And thank you, Roman. So in your box, you have that green herb butter that we made. It has shallots and everything in it. This is delicious. And while your steak is still warm, you wanna put this on top. I would put this on top right away because this is part of the time it takes to rest your steak will be the same time it takes to let this herb butter melt into that steak. And now you have the herb butter on the warm steak. You can pop it back in the oven. If you're at home and you want to serve it the way I do it, I take my plate and put it in the oven to warm it up first. And it gets nice and hot. So when it comes to the table, even if your steak isn't piping hot, which it never is, and even in a steakhouse, it's the plate that should be hot. And that's what really helps. Now you have your potatoes. I have my carrots right here. I'm just doing this family style. And that's another show from Chef Marc's What's Cooking at Chef Marc. This is a beautiful dinner. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I'm so glad you could allow me in your home to do this. We're very excited to bring you these shows. We're gonna continue to do this because it's a lot of fun for me. I hope it's a lot of fun for you. And you get to eat pretty well. So God bless everybody. Love you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Again, happy Mother's Day. Make a reservation tomorrow night. We're open. We'll see you then.